Morning, and hello from Delmarva. Welcome back to Shorebilly Farmer. So we've been shelling corn for the last couple days, and I haven't had the camera with me because it's just been go, go, go. But we've gotten to a point now where we need to start sowing some cover crop. So Eugene, while I finish up cutting corn on one field, Eugene's going to be spreading the rest of his cover crop. And then I need to bring the combine back here, put it away in the barn because it is supposed to rain next week, and I have to work all week, so I won't be able to shell any corn. So we're gonna put it in the barn and keep it out of the weather. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, clean the windows and everything, because we will need it this afternoon to sow that cover crop. What did I do with my rag? I left my rag somewhere. Anyway, I gotta go get fuel in the pickup truck and go fill up the combine because the combine is just about out of fuel. I won't need much to finish up out there, but I'll put 60 gallons in it anyway, and that'll be more than enough. What you doing, kitty cat? You on the hunt? Come here. Oh, yes. Yes, nothing says relaxing like a good chunk of dirt. Sock seems to be happy this morning. I'm sure she's been out running around catching mice all night coming out of the fields that we cut here around the house. For those of you at Farmer, you understand the stress of leaving one row of corn can put on you. Maybe it's just my OCD, but it hurts my feelings seeing a row of corn standing. But it was either get that 20 or 30 cents worth of corn or scrape the side of the combine on the trees. I chose to leave the 30 cents worth of corn. All right, I took care of some paperwork and stuff while I was waiting on this dew to dry off. Eugene's about ready to start spreading cover crop. I normally adjust the depth of this machine by just sight. I've run it enough to know. Eugene's not as familiar with it, so I'm going to take it over to his farm, fill it up with fuel, and put it in the field and adjust the depth. There's a way that we can set it to stop at a certain depth by turning this crank here, and it basically stops the machine from going down too far. And with incorporating cover crop, we only want to be about 1 inch, 2 inches down. So I'm gonna get on the road, get over there, get fuel, and get this adjusted for him. Then I'm gonna take off, fuel up the combine, and start cutting because the dew is drying off quickly. It is amazing the difference that those two new batteries made and how fast this thing cranks. It's just, ever since I've owned this tractor has cranked slowly. So the kids have been in here, they closed all my vents. I don't know why, but every single child I have, which is 3 of them, all, when they were young, loved closing those vents. I don't know why. I don't see the appeal to it, but it makes them happy. So I had to call my country Uber to come get me. technical process around here. You're counting each grain, right?
No.
They just needed enough to finish like 3 acres worth, so dip it out of there and do it versus using the loader. One of these days I'll actually wire this into the truck rather than using the boost box to power it, but we do it so little it really hasn't been much of an issue because we normally fill up at the farm before heading to the field. And yesterday I was in a hurry to try to get 3 loads down to the mill and didn't take the time to run over and get fuel, so we started this farm with half a tank, and we just got that little bit over there and over there left. I don't know, maybe 4 acres left, maybe 5, somewhere in there. My very scientific test of checking for if the dew's burning off is telling me that it's mostly burned off, but there's a little bit left. But I think we'll be okay. We'll be good enough to start. Again, that scientific method is patent pending. And while that's dumping fuel, let's walk out here in the field real quick and look at some things. See what kind of job we're doing. So I see 1, 2, 3. And that's your square foot, and I've got 3. So we're still doing at about a bushel an acre loss. And I would venture to say 90, if not 100% of that is header loss. This corn is so dry. It's the 2 loads I took yesterday went 15-1, and then I had a load that went 16 where we cut along the wood line over there. And while I cut that wood line, I went ahead and went along this low area over here that still had some green tops to it. But 16 honestly is like the perfect moisture. You get docked a little bit, but you're also gaining in weight, so I'm fine with that. I don't want to go below 15.5 because then you start losing money in weight. All right, let's kick this pig. The vandals have struck again. Like, subscribe, share. Got one more bin full out there left to go, and then this farm will be done. Then we'll jump over and start spreading cover crop. Take a second to show you guys something. I've told you before how important population is for finding that good balance between how many plants per acre and still producing a large viable ear that's going to produce a healthy crop. Right here, because of how the field is, we have a bunch of point rows that cross this way, and then you got the field edge. So there's a lot of overlap right here. So where we normally, in this farm, we planted 30,000 seeds an acre or 30,000 plants an acre, in this spot, it's roughly 60,000. So double what it should be just because of the overlap. So if you look at this, look at the ears. First off, the stalks, real spindly, real thin, easy to fall over. And then look at the size of the ear. Okay, yes, there are double the amount of ears, but look at how tiny it is. And the problem with that is take a look at what happens. The ears actually are so small, they go through these stripper plates, the deck plates. They go through it, and then the rollers hit it and shatter it. So then you lose some yield because it's on the ground, not in the combine. I mean, you can see over here where the ears were large, not a single kernel on the ground, not one. And then come over here, this is where it was planted at 30,000, and look at the size of that ear. So you can tell there's a huge difference in the variability of the ear size, and that's why sometimes it's hard to adjust a combine to get everything, because you got ears like that are a foot and a half long, and then you've got ears that are 4 inches long and half the diameter. But that's where we play with our population and try to maximize the yield in the field. And there's a good example of what happens when you put too high of a population. That's an extreme case, but you can see the variability that can exist, and it's all on a sliding scale. Wait a minute. Right there, restroom today, right here. It's a long way back to the truck. All right, we're gonna jump from one chariot into the next. What do you say, buddy? You gonna spread some cover crop with me?
No.
Well, then what are you doing in a tractor?
I just want to make sure you do it wrong.
Do it wrong?
Uh-huh. Woo, woo, woo.
He's not very happy right now because he dropped most of his lunch on the floor down there. Now he just smacked his head. Just want to check to see how much seed we got left. Whew, that might be just enough to finish, maybe. What I wanted to see was the wheat, how much of it we actually have in our overlapping areas. So we can see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, just that little area we've got quite a bit of wheat. So I think we're putting it on plenty thick. As you can see, I exchanged riders. Say hi, Annabelle. Wow. Not very,
Hi.
Come on, get excited.
Hi.
There you go. Sheesh, these kids today. She said she wanted to walk. Gather her thoughts. Ponder the world. Solve the world's problems. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna spread the home farm here and then jump in the New Holland over yonder. Right, somewhere there. Jump in that. Well, that job's done. The spreader is empty. And we've got, I don't know, 35 acres of cover crop on my land. Everything that's been cut out of corn so far has got cover crop on it. So that means we're staying up with it. Now I got to go jump in the other chariot and start disking. Well, I decided to round out the family circus. We got the little guy with us. You like that, huh? He likes anything that beeps or jumps or bangs or makes noise. He's 100% boy. Yeah, you see it all going by? I think the reason why our farm is so successful is because I let him call the shots. He hasn't been tainted yet with bad ideas, so every idea is a good idea. Right, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, I see that. If you can't tell, I'm a proud daddy. We had the whole family circus in here today. And I love spending time with every one of them. They're all unique. They all have their own things. Even this one, as little as he is, has got his own way of looking at things. You can already tell. No, you're not going to have my snacks. They're not for you. I won't share. So I'm sure it was circulating around on Facebook and YouTube. People were claiming that farmers were being paid to plow under their crops to depress the market. That's not true. But I guess you could say that I'm plowing under my crop right now because we are plowing or disking, and I'm putting a crop under the ground for it to grow. So maybe there's some truth to that. But I can tell you now, those rumors and all that stuff that was floating around about farmers plowing under their crops to depress the market and that they're being paid a lot of money per acre to do it by the government, that's not true. The government is paying us to plant this cover crop, but that is for completely different reasons and has nothing to do with depressing a market. This is a preventative measure that they believe the cover crop will soak up the available phosphorus in the ground and not have it leach into the waterways. I don't know if I truly agree with their scientific assessment of that. I don't know that there's much science to it, because when I put nitrogen in a field, I can tell within 2 feet of where that nitrogen is, which tells me it doesn't move horizontally very much. So the only reason we're doing this is because, well, the government pays us to do it. And like anybody, we're going to try to make money where we can, especially with the input costs next year are going through the roof. That is one thing we are dealing with. The next year's input costs are already looking to be double what this year was. But one of the nice things about working around the house here is I can literally walk out of the field, have dinner with the family, walk right back outside and get back to work. One of the bad things, not bad, one of the interesting things about working in this scenario is sometimes they all come along.
And we come along and ride in the tractor with Daddy.
We've got, so you have seen all 3 kids in the tractor with me at some point today, and I figured we just gotta have the whole family together. So Katie joined us, and now we have all the kids in here. Really is a family circus. Well, that's going to do it for us today. That is the corn in one farm finished, cover crop spread, cover crop incorporated. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Goodbye from Delmarva. Shorebilly Farmer, out.